Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching our interview today. I am so excited to have a guest today. His name is Aaron Duncan. And, we talked about the whole life after and what Strong Squad means and how you define your own strong. And a lot of times in Strong Squad, we focus on us as the survivors and what we've gone through. But we don't think about the people that are on the other side that are holding our hands while we're going through things, or they're there fighting for us, or watching us be sick, and just that angle. So today I have Aaron, who lost his wife Shanta to pulmonary hypertension, and he's going to give us his side of being strong and his survivor angle of being strong for someone else who was fighting. So thank you so much, Aaron. We appreciate you coming here.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So first question, because I kind of gave just a synopsis of you, but just tell us who you are and about Shanta so that, we understand who she was as a person also.
So I'm Aaron Duncan, as she said. My wife Shanta, she had pulmonary hypertension. Pulmonary hypertension is essentially high blood pressure in the lungs. And when when it was discovered in her, we were maybe a year and a half into our marriage, or 2.5 years into our marriage when she was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension. She was initially given essentially 3 to 5 years to live, but she went on to live 16 years after that. We were married for 18.5 years and had a great relationship, and we did our best to make life as normal as possible for her during that particular time. And she was a big advocate for supporting others, even though she was going through a number of things herself. So in seeing that helped me just become more confident and more strong as I supported her. So I watched somebody be strong, and that helped me out as far as just dealing with the things I had to deal with while she was sick. But more of that was just focused on supporting her and making sure that her life was as normal as possible.
Right. And that's kind of what I wanted to focus on too, is just for you telling us your story. And like I said, it's so easy for us to come on like, oh, I'm strong. I went through that. I beat that. I overcame that. And, unfortunately for Shanta, she's not here to tell that side of her story. So that's what I just want you to kind of maybe talk about from your point of view, like, how you felt you had to be strong, and how is that coming from someone like, we're gonna beat this, we're gonna beat this, and then you on the other side that are scared, like, what are your vulnerable feelings for that person, and just not being able to fix something for that person that you love?
Oh, I mean, you made a great point. The first thing I wanted to do was try to fix it myself, and it's a helpless feeling when you can't fix it and you want to fix it. You want to take on the pain that they're going through. But just the initial shock of it, the biggest thing that we worried about, and her biggest concern, and even my biggest concern, was when we found out we found out her diagnosis, we were just concerned about her just picking up her son. Aaron Jr. was just over 1 year old at the time, and that was the biggest thing for us. The most important thing is just her holding her son. Now, my goal with her was just, I had to be her biggest cheerleader with everything. We had this particular saying, if there was something that we knew she couldn't do, that we'll just say, well, okay, we'll figure it out. She wanted to go swimming, she wanted to get into the pool. She really couldn't get into the pool because she had the terminology, the PICC line in her chest. We had this big equipment. We said we just figure it out. And that's what we did. We went to a couple of water parks together. We did a number of things that we probably shouldn't have done. We actually did some late night hospital visits because the machine broke, the machine got wet, because she would tape up her body And, you know, we would wrap it up in a towel, put it in a Ziploc bag. So we tried all these techniques to try to just protect her, just so we can make her life normal. And it was my role to be as supportive as I can possibly can and just be her biggest cheerleader. Even if, you know, family and friends say, hey, Aaron, make sure she's not doing this, make sure she's not doing that. I would tell her, look, we're going to do whatever you want to do. Whatever you can do, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to figure it out. Because we're not going to have you sit at home and just not do anything and be sad and be depressed. No, because she was a positive person. She was a person full of life. And I wanted to kind of keep help her keep that going. Now, she didn't need my help. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah,
she didn't need my help.
I know. I could see just from the pictures that I've seen of like that on your timeline and like pictures that she was tagged in, like you could see that her personality was just everyone loved her.
It was full of life. And that, you know, just knowing her personality, it helped me because I'm a very protective person, you know, of my son, of her. So I always want to be extra careful. I always used to be extra careful with how, you know, I approached it because I didn't want to discourage her from doing anything. So I had to be mindful that, you know, Aaron, be careful, be smart, be protective, but also, you know, be supportive so she can enjoy life. You just want her to enjoy life because she's going through so much. I've been up late with her, just kind of dealing with her PICC line, or, you know, if there's a hole in the machine, we have to go to the hospital, or whether she's, you know, she shot a bread, these different things. We would just make adjustments in life just to make sure she's as comfortable as possible. But at the same time, we're not too careful because you want them to enjoy life because you never know, you know, when, you know, the time would expire, unfortunately. So you want to make the most of their, you know, of the time that I had with her. That's what we did, and we worked. I worked hard, and I'm going to make this personal for me. I worked hard to provide for her the life that I felt she deserved and the life that she wanted. That I enjoyed that. That wasn't, for me, it wasn't a burden. I enjoyed spoiling my wife. I really and truly did. And she was one that she didn't ask for much. She really didn't ask for much. But whatever she asked for, I fought as hard as I possibly can to make sure she can get it. You know, whether it's she wants to, I'm going back to the story. We went to Orlando, and this was this was 2018. My wife passed away in October of 2018. We went to Orlando in April of 2018, and for the first time in 16 and a half years, she actually dove into a pool. She hadn't done it in 16 and a half, so we made sure she was wrapped up tight with the saran wrap, tape, and everything. So she got an opportunity to actually dive into a pool and swim. And knowing that, she passed away later that year, I was so thankful that we had that moment. And I was so, I was proud of myself that I allowed her to have that moment. And I wasn't like, oh, well, I don't want you to die. I don't want you to be out of breath. I said, you know what, if you do it, I'm going to be in the pool with you. So I actually went down, she didn't dive into it. We went down a slide and we fell into a pool or whatever. And I went with her. Because that was my way of showing support and creating a life as normal as possible. Yeah, there were some worries for me, of course, when you see your loved one. I wouldn't say she was suffering, but dealing with something internally that, if you see it on the outside and you know this, with pulmonary hypertension, it's not something that you can physically see. So no one knew how sick she was.
Right.
So, but how sick she is. And so what I would do, even if it was something that my coping mechanism, honestly, I dove into work a lot. I would just dive into projects at work.
Too, right.
I would dive into projects at work. Yeah, in a sense, it helped me ascend in my career because I was just so focused. Part of it was driven to try to provide for her a life that I felt she deserved, that I felt she wanted. And another part of it was just, a distraction for me. Now, I didn't spend 20 hours at work. I spent my 8 to 10 hours at work and I would come home, but I maximized the time I had. I stayed busy. I stayed active. I stayed doing extra stuff. And I think for me, over time, that became a coping mechanism because when I got home, my attention was totally on her, making sure that she was well, making sure that she was doing.
And that's what I was saying too, whenever we were talking about from your point of view. And, you know, how you guys on that side have to have a coping mechanism. Like you have to have an out too, because you get so consumed with taking care of the survivor or the person that's fighting that, you know, a lot of times they start, you know, having health problems, or they start having, you know, things, emotional things or whatever. So, you know, I think that that's something that is really great you brought up, coping mechanism, because, you know, it's just that, you know, like I can't imagine being on that side of it. Like when I feel like when I was going through when I had breast cancer, like I feel like I was so just focused on beating this, you know, figuring it out. And then now that, you know, that chapter is closed, I reflect on it. I'm like, man, you know, how did that affect my kids, you know, watching me, and how did they deal with it? And is there going to be, you know, some type of long-term issue or whatever? So I'm glad you brought that up about the coping mechanism, because that's a point of view that we don't think about, because we're in the fighting stage. We're like, we got to beat this. We're going to win. We're going to come out strong. But then those people that are on the side that are pushing us, you know, like it's hard, you know, for you guys.
It is. You know, there are times when, you know, it's all right to feel selfish at times, as you want to do things on your own that person can do, and get a little frustrated by that. But it all comes back to the love that we had, the love that we shared. Nothing was bigger than us. Nothing was bigger than the marriage. So, you know, I didn't mind when those selfish thoughts came into my mind about, like, I want to go do this. And it's more of, hey, let's go to this place or that place, and not thinking in the back of my mind that she can't do those things.
Right.
But when I had to suppress that was, for me, it was fine. It was fine because it was more important. And I guess that I'm just that type of person, especially when, you know, when you're in a relationship or when you're in a marriage, that I don't mind putting myself aside just to make sure that she's happy, that, you know, that make sure that she feels comfortable, she feels safe. And even if she had, you know, just felt bad because she felt like she was putting a burden on me, you know, my goal was to always never make her feel that way. But, you know, I had different coping mechanisms on the outside. I don't drink. Well, let me say I have
you don't drink, but you drink.
No, I'm serious. You know, I have what is called a 2-drink maximum, and I've never met my quota.
Okay.
For the year. That's for the year now.
You know, I'm a square. I don't drink at all either, so we could always hang out. I'm like, no, this is Coke Zero. Yeah. Y'all do what you want to do or whatever.
I've walked around many a club or event with this mixture of a drink, a fruity drink, you know, and I'll just, you know, add a bunch of stuff, and I have my own concoction, and I'll tell you about it later. It's pineapple, all that stuff. That's my cocktail when I'm out. But, you know, so I'm glad I never was a drinker, never smoked or anything like that, so I never looked at that. You know, later on, as I got older, around 2011, 2012, one of the things that did happen, you know, I picked up a lot of weight. I picked up a lot of weight from the time, you know, from maybe 2002 to 2011, 2012. I think I got up to about 235. You know, probably around 235. I think 235. I didn't actually weigh myself, but looking at some old pictures, I knew I was about 235, 240. I had to be. And then around 2012, I started working out. I did the HIIT training that you were doing. I got into that 2012, 2013, and I lost a good 25 to 30 pounds. And I realized I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that work, and it became a coping mechanism for me when I got home. And then the great thing about it was she was extremely supportive of it. As a matter of fact, she used to tell me, and this may not be appropriate, but I'll say it anyway. She used to tell me, "Look, I ain't gonna be married to no fat man." Now, so that was like, okay, that was motivation. I was like, okay, look, I need to get myself up, and I need to get going, because if she can deal with that, then I can get in the gym and work my behind off. So, you know, and that's what I started doing. I started just working out a lot more. Now, I already told you that COVID kind of crept in 2020. Hasn't been good for me. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, this year doesn't count for it. That's it. It's going to start over 2021. But that's very good too, because that's a coping mechanism. And I tell people all the time, like, you know, like for me, I like to go work out. Do I want to work out every day? No, I don't. But exercise, it's just the healthier you are physically, the more your body
Yeah.
can fight, you know, sickness. You know, your mental state is better. Like people don't realize all the therapeutic effects of that. But anyway,
Yeah.
so to wrap up everything, all the great information, what I really want you to do is tell us about pulmonary hypertension and what you are doing, because I know that's kind of like your focus right now. You know, tell us like what you're doing in Shanta's name for pulmonary hypertension, what you want people to do to help, how can they help, and then, you know, any extra things that you have that, you know, you've encountered, like what questions people may ask you about pulmonary hypertension. Just sum it all up for everyone.
Now, one thing I want to say before I jump into that is that after my wife passed away, and I think I have to say this, especially for men, is the first thing I realized that I needed was therapy. And I actually went and got therapy, grief counseling,
Right.
after she passed. That kind of helped me afterwards. So I definitely just wanted to say that. But what we're doing right now, and this is something that I say that I didn't create, Shanta actually created. One of the things that she was doing before she passed away, we had a walk, and I believe in 2009 was the first time she did it. She just, on her own, no help whatsoever, she reached out to the Pulmonary Hypertension Association and put together a walk to raise money for Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Month, which is November. That's why I have on my purple, and then I have a purple Strong Squad shirt on, a hat, right on. And she put together the walk on her own, raised money for pulmonary hypertension awareness, and that was a great event. I saw her do this. She didn't have my help. I just did whatever she told me to do. But
Right.
she's the one that orchestrated it. And when she passed, you know, I wanted to continue on that legacy as the best way that I could. So I saw what she was doing. She was looking to give a gift to someone. She was looking to give a gift to whomever it was, whether it's pulmonary hypertension or whether it was just a person. She was looking to give that gift. And my wife, she used to, well, you know, of course, she would visit pulmonary hypertension patients, and she would actually give them money, like maybe $50 here, $100 there, if she felt that they were in need. And so from that, you know, when she passed, I decided to create myself, her mom, Donna Baker, and Tara Whitener. You met Tara Whitener. We decided to create Shanta's Gift. And with Shanta's Gift, we raise money for pulmonary hypertension awareness, and we also like to raise money for a person that is in need. A person or family that's either dealing with pulmonary hypertension or their family members that are, you know, supporting that person that's dealing with pulmonary hypertension. And what we like to do is give a $250 gift from the money that we've raised, and just gift that person. They can use it however they like. We had one person, a young lady by the name of Raquel. She was actually on the donors list for a lung transplant. But she had to go to, I forgot what city it was. I don't know if it was somewhere in Alabama. And she used that money for hotel stay just to get, you know, I guess the pre-doctor's check or whatever. But that was a gift to her. Another young lady, she was having issues with rent, and because she couldn't work like she used to. She was just diagnosed probably within a year. And that money helped her get through a particular month. Another lady, unfortunately, she passed away, but it just helped with just day-to-day expenses that she was going through. So hopefully, our goal with this is to just gift someone that's in need. We'll get back to it in 2021. We may try to do something for this year. Of course, it was difficult for us to raise money. But we may do another gift this year before the year is out as a Christmas gift. I'm trying to work on something right now. But right now, we do have a fundraiser that's essentially a Facebook fundraiser. We're trying to raise at least $2,000. All the funds go directly to the Pulmonary Hypertension Association. I work directly with them. I've written 2 articles for their Pulmonary Hypertension magazine, and another 2 articles for their particular website on my experience with that and her experience with pulmonary hypertension. So there's a lot of positive work. Of course, 2020 has slowed things down for a lot of us, but we hope to continue that in 2021. Just get the message out. Just be a supporter. We're all a family. We spell family with a PH, of course, for pulmonary hypertension, and just the PH family. And we just look to continue that in 2021, and hopefully we'll gift more people. I think in total, we gift maybe 4 or 5 people with a $250 gift.
How can they, like anyone that's not watching this, because I do post this on my YouTube page, I post it on my Instagram, so I don't just post it on Facebook where I can tag you in it. Yeah. But is there a website or an email, or how?
There's not a website or an email. I'm not as thorough as you.
To get some extra contact information.
Well, yeah, I'll see what I can pull up. But right now, it's just a Facebook. If you go to Facebook and look up Shanta's Gift, I created a Facebook page. The post is there. Of course, right now the Facebook fundraiser is just going through family and friends. But if you just look up Shanta's Gift. Let's see if I can put this up. I hate to do cheap advertisement, but is that backwards? I don't know if that's backwards or not. Maybe it's
right. Yeah.
So if you look up Shanta's Gift on Facebook, there's an actual page that we created from there, and hopefully in 2021 we're going to look to expand on that. I need the expertise of, say, a Holly to help me improve that. But for right now, that's
life coach. I'll get you right.
For right now, but that's what we have, and we've raised close to maybe $800 right now.
And I think that's good that you said that, and that's kind of like what I also try to implement with Strong Squad, is also coming at a community level, that I think a lot of people forget, and we just donate to all of these big names because we know them, because they we hear about them. But when you're down at the community level, like you said, the impact that $250 can give someone that's struggling, that you're going through this shift, just helping maybe pay for groceries or something like that. And people forget the strength in our community and just coming together. So I think that's so awesome that that you guys are hitting a community level. Yeah, we're also contributing to research and all of that, but the fact of just hitting our own community levels is so important, and people forget about that too. So that's kudos to you guys. That's awesome and everything. But so you guys, you heard how to get in touch with Aaron. You can stalk him on Facebook, Aaron Duncan. His name is underneath his video.
Yeah, pretty much.
So stalk him. Or you can go Shanta with the SHANTA. So you can look up Shanta's Gift website for, if you want to directly donate to that too. So super great. Thank you so much for just sharing your vulnerability with us, Aaron. We can definitely see how much you still love Shanta and just how great she was. And, we love her too. And just sharing that other point of view is just really helpful, because we don't want to forget about all the people, especially during the holiday season.
Oh, absolutely.
All the ones that didn't survive, and your role as a survivor is to still be here. Like you're still here, and you can't just give up. You have to survive. You have to go for Aaron Jr. Like you still have to keep her name alive. So definitely want to make sure we focus on you guys during this time also. So thank you so much for telling your story. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.